Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing well. And sorry about yesterday's math video. I could not get that to upload, so I hope you were able to finish your page without the video. But today I got another great story to share with you, and we're going to start off, of course, remembering one of the Bible verses that we've learned. If you remember, we looked at this one yesterday, and it's one that we've already learned, so it's a review. Do you remember 1 Thessalonians 5:11? Can you say that with me? 1 Thessalonians 5:11. That is a big word, isn't it? Book in the Bible. It's found in the New Testament. And the Bible verse is, encourage one another and build each other up. All right, and we talked about that verse many times, how Jesus wants us to say words of encouragement, build each other up, not words that tear each other down. And that means when we're talking to mom and dad, brother, sister, and our friends, encourage one another. So I want you to think about today, what can you say to somebody in your family to encourage them? Think of something. I can't wait to hear what you say, all right? Today we are going to do a Zoom meeting at 1 o'clock, so hopefully you can join us. I thought it would also be fun if you can maybe share a joke. You have a fun joke to share with everybody, so you be thinking about that. And if you can join us at 1 o'clock today, we'll have another Zoom meeting. I love seeing your smiles and your faces, and I know it's fun for you to see your friends too. So today at 1 o'clock, and if you'd like to share a joke, it'd be fun to hear a joke that everybody has to share. And don't forget, try to say something to encourage one another. Think of what can you say to somebody in your family to build them up. Not tear them down, but build them up. All right, today I have a great story for you. It's called Friendship for Three. Now, when I looked at that, the first thing I noticed, boys and girls, it has a FR at the beginning of friendship and the number word 3. It's when I got to stick my tongue out a little bit. It's got 2 vowels, so I can sound out that number word 3. Friendship for 3. And if you look on here, you see a bird, a deer, and a cat. All right, so let's see what our friends are going to do in our story today called Friendship for 3. Now, one other quick thing I wanted to tell you before I read this is this story is also a little extra special because it was written by a classroom of children. And if I show you the back, there's a classroom. I don't know this class. I don't know these friends, but they wrote this story all together. They worked together, did some teamwork, and wrote this story. So they would all be called the authors. And they're also in 4th grade. All right, so maybe you know somebody in 4th grade or brother and sister. They were 4th graders. So I think that's kind of a little extra special part of the story, that it was written by children. They were the authors of the story. All right, so once upon a time, a bird, a cat, and a deer lived in a forest. They each were happy and enjoyed doing their own thing. The bird was devoted and hardworking mother of 6. She kept a neat nest, gathered twigs from the forest, and collected lots of food for her babies every day. The deer was a fun-loving, caring sort of guy who loved to roam the forest. He talked to the other animals and helped them whenever he could. The cat was a sly and clever animal. He lived in a cave, but often came out to look for tiny birds to eat. He spotted the bird many times and thought, that would be a nice meal. Here's our deer, our cat, and our bird. One day, the bird was out in the forest, and a hunter was also there hunting for deer. The hunter spotted the deer, took aim, and fired. The bullet whizzed by the deer, bounced off a branch. Let's see what's going to happen. And the bullet struck the bird, and the bird fell to the ground. She was seriously hurt. Ooh, that's kind of sad, isn't it? But later that day, the deer wandered back to where she had almost been shot. And he saw the bird on the ground and realized what had happened. He immediately started to try to save the bird. He made a comfortable bed for her and he tried to stop her bleeding. But the bird didn't want the deer's help. She wanted to get back home to her babies to take care of them. And the deer said, "I'll take care of your babies." Wow, what a good friend. After the deer patched up the bird, she felt more relaxed. And so he set off to feed the bird's babies. And when he got to the tree, he realized he had a problem. Do you know what the problem is? I bet you guys figured it out. He thought to himself, how am I going to get up that tree to feed the babies? Can a deer get up in a tree to a bird's nest, boys and girls? Not going to work, is it? He's not going to give up. At that moment, the deer saw his friend the cat, who was searching for food. He called the cat over and told him what happened to the bird. He asked the cat for help. "Sure," replied the cat. "I'll go up and have them for lunch." "Oh, no, you won't," screamed the deer. "I promise to take care of the babies. If you want to be my friend, you'll help." "Okay," replied the cat. "What do you want me to do?" And the deer explained that he would dig up the worms, but the cat would have to climb up the tree and feed the babies. And that's exactly what happened. Look at that teamwork, boys and girls. Isn't that awesome, working together to help the bird? After the babies were fed, the deer asked the cat to stay close to the babies to keep them warm throughout the night. And then the deer went off to care for the injured bird. Look at that cat's face. Look at that. The cat climbed up the tree, sighed, and thought, "Oh, if my dad could see me now." But he cuddled around the babies, and although he was tempted to have them for a meal, he remembered he had promised to help and not to harm them. Remember, he made a promise. He's going to keep that promise. After a few days, the bird was well enough to go home. The deer lowered his head and invited the bird to hop on his antlers. The deer then carried the bird home. When they arrived at the bird's home, she started shrieking and screaming at the sight of that cat in her nest. But the deer tried to calm the bird down and said, "The cat helped take care of your babies while you were injured." Then the bird flew up to the nest and saw that the babies were just as healthy as ever. So the bird flew down and gave the cat and the deer a big kiss. The end. Isn't that a great story, boys and girls? I love that. Friends helping friends, working together, solving a problem, but keeping their promise. What a great story. That's kind of friend we want to be to one another, isn't it? We want to help our friends when they need help. We want to keep our promises and, of course, encourage one another. Great. All right, boys and girls, we're going to go ahead and work on our handwriting. This is a handwriting page, and this might have been in that first packet, Mom and Dad. I'm not quite sure. There were several pages, and we might not have got to all of those in that first packet. But again, boys and girls, this is on page 123 and 124. Again, we see the letter K at the top that we've had before, capital and lowercase. They look just alike, only, of course, one's going to be capital and then lowercase, not going to go all the way to the top. First and last name, again, always on our handwriting lines using our pencil. K. Can you think of a K word, boys and girls? Let me hear you think of a K word. All right, of course, Caitlin, you probably found one really quick because you know Caitlin. This is a picture of a kitchen, Also, do you remember? Kitchen, 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 kitchen. Remember, K also makes the same sound as another letter we've learned, boys and girls. What other letter makes the K sound? Do you remember? That is the letter C. Very good. We know C and K make the same sound. Kitten, we just read a story about a kitten and a cat. Cat is C, kitten is K. All right, row 1, capital and lowercase k. We know how to make those letters. We've done this before, so it should be pretty easy tracing and writing. Remember, we make diagonal lines. Those are those lines that go sideways when we make a K. On row 2, we have 2 names, short I and short E. These are the names of the children in our story. You should be able to sound out quickly. M, Kim, K, and Ken. Short I, short E. All right, and let's see what they're going to do. Row 3, Kim and N, help bake. All right, look at that. They're helping Mommy bake something delicious. Do you like to bake, boys and girls? If you get to bake something, what do you like to bake? Some of you saying maybe cookies, cakes, brownies, a pie. Those are all things that are fun to bake and, of course, fun to eat too, aren't they? All right, don't forget, we trace and then we have that period at the end. Remember the period. Our sentence starting with a capital and a period at the end. We said that I and E. Remember short I, short E on there. We've done those before. On the back, we see a picture here. We've got a red hen. Let's see what they're doing in this picture. Starting on row 1. This is just extra practice on some short vowel words. A nut hit a red hen. All right, can you find the nut that hit the red hen? Again, period at the end. And let's see what the hen did. Tricky word, the hen ran. Tricky word, to hide, magic E, and again a period. So boys and girls, we're seeing again, just like always, tricky words, short vowels, magic E words, all on our handwriting, on the front and on the back. Again, extra practice on our sentence, writing, using our pencil, doing our very best work on that. All right, let's go ahead and make sure you finish that. And we come back, we are going to need our reader. We're going to continue reading together and do our best work.